So, where's the light? Get up. Welcome everyone to Flourish Girls Who Grill event. We are so excited that you are here for an evening of great food, learning, and connection. Tonight is all about gathering together to learn new grilling tips, build confidence around the grill, and enjoy a fun, relaxed experience with Babs. Whether you're a seasoned griller or just getting started, this is your space to ask questions, try something new, and have fun along the way. Take what you need from this time, enjoy the conversation, and get ready for a delicious evening together. Flourish events like these are made possible thanks to our dues-paying alumna. Your continued support keeps our programming vibrant, relevant, and full of connection. If you haven't yet paid your dues or need a refresher, please feel free to visit the Pay Dues tab on the CAPA website. We will be hosting a giveaway this evening for a couple lucky sisters. The terms and conditions live on the event listing on the CAPA website. You must be present to win. So if we pull your name, please make yourself known in the chat or unmute yourself. Thank you so much. Before we dive in, as you can see, there's a map on the screen. We want to get everybody warmed up and spread a little love with our first giveaway. We will be giving away a pair of Girls Who Grill gloves. Babs has a pair for me right here, a package of Maldon salt, and some char crust seasoning. So drop on in the chat where you're tuning in from so that we can see where everybody's tuning in from this evening and we can say hi to everybody. Looks like we have some people out in California. Hi, Kelly in Cincinnati. We have Kelly in Lafayette, California. We have lots of people out on the West Coast. We have Rachel in San Diego. We have Tammy in Nashville. Looks like somebody in Phoenix. We have Connie in Phoenix. Hi. We have somebody in Kansas. We have Shelly in Wichita, Kansas. We also have, hi, Lori in Austin. We have Anne in Alexandria. Lots of peeps in Ohio. Hi, Heather in Columbus. We have somebody in Alabama. My goodness. Hi, Sarah. I think I've seen it started to get quiet in the chat. I don't want to miss anybody so that everybody can get their chance. Hi, Chana in Chicago. I think this is a great time to pull our first winner of the evening of this wonderful giveaway. So congratulations to, who's it going to be? Lily Stone. Lily Stone, are you here? Will you unmute yourself or type in the chat if you're here or not? I can pull again if she's not here yet. Okay, I'm not hearing anything, so I'm going to pull another. Who's it going to be? Juliet Emerson, are you here? Do you want to unmute yourself? Okay, we're going to try one more time. Let's see. Who's going to win? Babs is crossing her fingers behind me. Leslie Wood in Dallas, Texas. Congratulations. I am so excited for you to win this first giveaway of the evening. I will make sure to email you tomorrow to confirm your mailing address so that we can get you this package right away. How exciting. Now, let me introduce our joyous host for the evening, Babs, a sister from Indiana. After a successful 25-year corporate career, Babs followed her passion for entertaining and founded Babs Boards in 2021. She has taught over 200 Girls Who Grill and charcuterie classes, inspiring more women to step up to the grill with confidence. Babs has been a guest chef at the Weber Grill Cooking School, was the only female competitor in the Ace Hardware's wing competition, grills with the Weber Grill at Apt, and regularly appears on the Chicago Morning TV, showcasing grilling and entertaining tips. Last April, she made her QVC debut with char crust, building her grilling experience at a national audience. Babs' mission isn't about being the best pit master. It's about making grilling approachable, fun, and accessible for everyone. We're so grateful to have Babs with us this Flourish season again, and we cannot wait to go through this grilling adventure together. Before we hand things off, Babs, we wanted to share a quick snapshot of who is in the room tonight. Tonight we have had several good answers to what's inspiring you to gather around the grill with us. Your responses range from heartfelt to hilariously relatable. We saw things like, I'm a terrible cook and we can use all the help I can get. Hosting a big engagement barbecue soon. What a cool thing to learn. Grilling is always geared towards men. As a single mom, I want to grill too. I have a backyard of my own for the first time ever, and now it's my turn to grill. Honestly, that feels like the perfect snapshot of this community. Some of us have to sharpen our grilling skills, some of us are for a fun night, and some of us are just hoping dinner doesn't burn while we're taking notes. Now let's see who's really joining us tonight. Look at the grillers that we have. We have 45.3 who are just learning but are very excited to be here. We have 18.8% who are here for the food and friends. We have 23.9% who are the weekend grill experimenters. And we have 12% who identify as the
We had to
BBQ.
say like what we were.
This is so exciting. So, wherever you fall on the spectrum, you are absolutely in the right place tonight. So, Babs, you're stepping into a room full of women who are showing up tonight, excited to learn, connect, and have fun together around the grill. We're so grateful to have you here with us and can't wait to learn from you more. The floor is all yours. Okay. So, guys, it's actually a special event because I am with Babs in person. I'm going to use Babs as camera woman over here at her grill. So we are
Everybody can see me. I'm so excited to be here. This is so fun. Welcome to my home. Sophie lives 30 minutes away from my home here in South Carolina, and I have my grills. And so the view, maybe you can see it a little bit. It's getting dark, but I'm so glad that you guys are here. So fun. Girls to Grill. Like Sophie said, I started this about 5 years ago, Babs Boards, and I started teaching Girls to Grill a few years ago, mostly because I love to teach, but also because I learned that I was the one grilling at my dinner parties, and all my friends were like, how the heck do you know how to do that? So I love teaching. It's really not that hard and super fun. So I started already teaching or cooking some of these veggies on this griddle. So Sophie's going to zoom in and show you some of these veggies. But we're going to actually start at the beginning because I think a lot of the women have this, fear of burning our eyebrows, perhaps when we light a grill. And I want to show you from the very beginning that it's really not hard to turn on a grill. So today we're going to be using a gas grill, and we're also going to be using this griddle. You don't have to have two grills for sure. I want to just show you a little bit about the griddle and how great it is, but I use this one as well a ton. So this is just a regular gas grill. It has a propane underneath. I'll show you that. If you have a propane tank like this, what you do is you turn the knob all the way to the left, lefty loosey righty tighty, just like you learn, right? Turn it all the way to the left. That is not how we control the heat to the grill. We control the heat to the grill with the dial. So you want that on all the way, gas, all the time. The number one rule for lighting a grill, always, 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 Sophie, the lid is open. You have to have it open before you go to light it. So make sure you do that. That'll prevent your eyebrows from burning off or any kind of backup. It is not scary if that lid is open, for sure. The other thing, and I'm finding my brush here, is you want to make sure that you're starting with a clean grill. Super important to have your grill cleaned. I do a deep cleaning of my grill about once a year because I use it a lot. But if you've never had somebody come out or you do it where you're taking apart the entire grill, you need to have it deep cleaned. This is really important for every single time that you go to grill. And on a hot grill only is when this grill brush does the trick. So on a hot grill, you want to do this in between every single course. That's how you get your grill clean. Makes sense, right? The other important thing to note, every single grill has a drip pan. Can you see that there? Every single one. Now you notice that one it's made out of like aluminum foil. The insert inside is disposable. Something you could buy on Amazon or a local hardware store. You just type in what type of grill you have and you get a whole stack of them in the mail sent to you. You want to make sure that drip pan is never overflowing. That is how you can start a grease fire, which is really bad. So keep it clean underneath. Make sure that that drip pan isn't overflowing. Make sure that your grill has been deep cleaned, and then also make sure you're doing this in between every single grill. That's how you prevent anything flaming up, any fires whatsoever. And this is also a food safety requirement too. You don't want your, one course to taste like the first course, right? So good food safety. Oh, graduate of Girls to Grill me if you don't know how to turn on your own grill. Super important. I will come to your house personally. Not really, but I will. Please email me, text me, DM me, all the things. If you can't in your own backyard turn on your own grill by yourself, I will FaceTime with you and make sure that that's something that you can do. That to me is super important. Everybody needs to be able to turn on their own grill. So, what the biggest tip is, lid open, like I said, always, always. The propane's all the way turned on. The next step is when you light a grill, it's kind of like your oven. You want the entire grill to be lit. The most efficient way to preheat a grill is kind of how you preheat an oven. You type in 375 or you turn the knob to 375 for your oven. Same thing with your grill, right? So the entire grill, even if I'm grilling a little small burger, I'm going to preheat my entire grill. All of the burners go on. So on this grill, it has its own little ignition, this button here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn each knob to that fire. So you see how each knob has like a little fire icon. Then this ignition, kind of like a starter button. Did you see that? Should I do it one more time? I'll do it one more time so we can see it. So this is just activating the gas like this. This is the starter button. And then you see the flames all light up. Some grills have the starter button right in the knobs, kind of like the stovetop would, which is fine. Again, if you don't know how to turn on your own grill in your backyard, reach out to me. Please, please, please. Super important for me. Similar to your oven, and I want you to start thinking of your grill as really your outdoor oven. That's what it is. It's so much fun because we don't have to heat up our kitchens in this warm weather that we're going to have this summer. It's the perfect time to be doing this class, by the way, Memorial Day weekend, this weekend. So what we're going to do, is there a question?
There's the camera apparently.
Oh, you're going to, it's a little glitchy.
Yeah, but you
Okay.
can keep going.
Okay. So similar to an oven, you don't want to leave your grill lid open. You want to make sure the grill cover is closed. Similar to how you preheat an oven, you would never preheat your oven with the oven door open, right? Same as a grill. And this will heat up super fast. It'll heat up to 375, 400 really quick. That's the nice thing, especially at Weber too. So you want to keep it on high when you're preheating it. And then once we get to that 375, 400 range that we're going to grill in today, that's when we adjust the knobs to medium-ish, right? And the medium then will maintain that 375 level. Makes sense, hopefully, for everybody. So once we get there, we're about 300 now. We're going to kind of move it to that medium. Too hot. What we're going to do then is we're going to There we go now.
Yep.
Okay. All right. If your grill gets too hot, the best way to cool it off is to just open the lid. So similar to an oven, every time you open it, you're letting all that air out. Most grilling in a gas grill like this is actually with that lid closed, believe it or not. So once we get to that 375, which we're close, we're going to turn these knobs to medium, and that will maintain the temperature of the grill. If it gets too hot as I'm talking, the easiest way is not to touch the knobs. The easiest way is just to open up that lid and let some of the cool air out. I want to come over here really quick to the griddle and talk about a little bit about the difference. I am using the griddle actually more often than I'm using a gas grill now because of the ease of it. And you don't need to have a standalone griddle. You actually could buy, Weber makes insert, which is fantastic. You could buy the insert that goes into the gas grill. So you don't need to have two of them. You surely can, but you don't have to, which is great. But I've been using this a lot. So you can see right here, Sophie will get close. What I've done is I've put peppers and tomatoes directly onto the slate griddle surface. And the nice thing is I could add oil. So this is just in a little squeeze bottle. I'm just going to drizzle some oil on. You cannot do that on a gas grill with grill grates. I mean, it would just be a massive flame and fire. So that is really nice about a griddle, the slate flat top. It's almost like hibachi style, which I think is really fun. So one of the things that I love about outdoor cooking and grilling in general is I really make the entire meal outside.
I do not. Memorial Day weekends this weekend. It's starting to get hot all over the country. It's been hot here, which is wonderful. But I am making the entire meal outside. No need to set my oven and put my appetizer in the oven or my dessert in the oven. I put my dessert actually on the grill. So we're going to talk about that tonight too, which is really fun. So this is finishing up here. So I'm going to show you a super easy appetizer for Memorial Day weekend. It is tomatoes, little small tomatoes, and those sweet peppers. I took the peppers and just sliced them, you could see. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these all in here, is I'm going to add, I did put a little olive oil directly onto this griddle. And then I'm going to add some salt and pepper. My favorite salt is what Sophie already showed you is the Malden salt. Looks like this in the box. Favorite salt. If you took my last class, you probably heard about this. I use this all the time. So I'm going to put a little bit of the Malden salt on, a little bit of fresh pepper, and some fresh pepper on too. I'm gonna get one-handed here. And then burrata makes everything better, in my opinion. Do you like burrata, Sophie?
I
Yeah,
do.
it's so good. So nice having you here. She's working hard holding this camera. Hopefully you guys can see. So, all right, I just got some burrata. I drained it, and I'm going to put it directly on this pepper and tomato. You could add, look at how pretty that looks. You could add fresh basil if you'd like. And then what I love to do is add really good balsamic. This would be your finishing balsamic, not, not the inexpensive stuff. This would be the expensive one that you're saving for a good reason. This would be the reason. Really good olive oil. I always use Old Town olive oil and balsamic because I'm from Chicago, but whatever is your favorite. And then I would probably add some fresh basil. You could actually put grilled steak on this, grilled chicken, grilled shrimp, and this could be dinner. But I think this is such a great salad for Memorial Day weekend, right? I'm going to put this over here. Sophie and I are going to enjoy this later. Okay, next thing I'm going to show you is, and by the way, all of these recipes, you don't have to take any notes. All of these recipes are on my website too, which I'm sure we'll share afterwards, babsboards.com. It's all there. So just sit back and enjoy. I want to show you a couple things first before the next recipe, but tools wise, I don't have, similar to my cooking in my kitchen, I don't have a lot of gadgets and tools, but I have some of my favorites. You already saw my favorite gloves. So I think a nice heavy duty grill glove is wonderful. These are pink, which is super fun by Babs, but so you need a good pair of grill gloves for outside. Veggie basket. Now, you saw when I was using the griddle, the nice thing about the griddle is you don't need a basket. But if you're using a grill that has grill grates and things could fall through those grill grates, that's where a basket comes in handy. You could get one with a handle too, which is nice. I put any vegetable in here that would fall through the cracks. You could put shrimp in here, asparagus. You could put, salmon, fish, anything that could potentially stick to that grill. I think a grill basket's a really important piece to have as well. And then I think it's really important to invest in some tongs. These are really inexpensive, different lengths. I have several of these. I use these in the kitchen, but I also use them for grilling. Grilling, if you are using a hamburger flipper to grill, that's great for hamburgers, but please don't use a hamburger flipper for any type of other grilling. Always use the tongs. That goes for flipping steaks and chicken, vegetables. Always use these tongs. Now, the griddle makes, you saw me using this type of spatula. They make their own separate line of spatulas for specific to the griddle, but put those hamburger flippers away, except for when you're using hamburgers,
Sure.
and use these tongs for everything else for sure. Okay, so I want to show you really quick what I did with these potatoes. So this is a really great recipe. I think I'm a huge fan of do everything you possibly can do in advance for entertaining. And that would be potatoes. Do all of your potatoes in advance. Don't wait until your guests arrive to start the potatoes. I actually did these ahead of time earlier today. So they're cold, but they're done. So what I did is, I'm going to open up this little tin foil to show you. What I did is I cut those little small potatoes. You could see, oh my gosh, can you smell how good these are? Right. I drizzled them with a little olive oil and I put them into this foil packet. And what I did is it's two-sided tin foil, and I put it into the packet. I tightened it really tight on all sides. I grilled it earlier today, about 15, 16 minutes each side. And you could see it actually looks like it was directly on the grill. It has that nice char. They are so great. Everybody loves them and raves about them. And they're done. So for my dinner party, what I would do is I would just put them on this grill. And a lot of the reason for this warming rack, you see most grills have some kind of rack like that on top, is literally to warm things up. You could put buns up there, you could put meat or anything else that you've already cooked that you just want to reheat. Great place to put the potatoes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the potatoes right up here. And they're already done. Like I said, they're just going to get reheated. And then once I reheat them, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them into this bowl. You can see in here, there's some really great butter. Please don't use Land O'Lakes butter. Use really good butter like Plugra or Kerrygold, some really great butter. And then potatoes are going to go in there. The butter will just melt from the heat of the potatoes. I will also put some Maldon salt all over it too, because I love salt and it will just taste wonderful. So such a great side dish and a great tip for getting something like potatoes that take up a lot of space on your grill. Get those done ahead of time and just reheat them. Trust me on that one. They're going to taste great. I love our bird in the background. Um, okay, so the main course. I'm going to talk about chicken for a few minutes with everybody because that was something that when I was a new griller and even more experienced, my chicken was constantly sticking to the grill all the time. So annoying. I couldn't figure out how to get my chicken to stop sticking. So what I started doing is oiling the chicken. It was still sticking. I started oiling the grill grates. Chicken was still sticking. I couldn't figure out why. I heard all these tips of use a raw potato, use, tin foil, all these other things, and I still couldn't get my chicken to stop sticking. So it wasn't until, and then actually I used Pam, like a Pam chemical spray, and I don't use chemicals in any of my cooking at all, so that really bugged me. And guess what? My chicken stuck anyways. So it wasn't until I talked to a butcher friend of mine that really told me the whole science behind it. And it is science. And I must not have learned that at IU when I was a Kappa back then. But the reason why it's sticking is not anything to do with the amount of oil on the grill or on the piece of chicken. It's sticking because when you put a piece of raw meat on a grill, it's raw, right? So it is going to stick until the proteins release in that raw piece of meat. Not the case with veggies because we could eat those raw, but for sure anything with a protein in it, like meat. So chicken seemed to be the biggest culprit for me. So similar to cooking in a cast iron pan, same thing with cooking on a grill. If that chicken is sticking, that means the proteins haven't quite released yet, and you need to close that grill and wait. And I joke around in my classes that you need to pour yourself another glass of wine and wait until that chicken releases. So the big thing with chicken is you don't, and I'm not saying I don't love marinades. I love a marinade all day long, but you don't have to have a marinade. You don't have to oil the chicken. If you have a clean grill, and another important fact in that is to make sure your meat comes to room temperature, or at least is not ice cold. So I brought this chicken out, just grocery store chicken that I got today, chicken breast. I took it out here, about 15, 20 minutes ago, right when we were starting, and it's not ice cold. You never want to put anything ice cold on a hot grill. You don't want to take it right out of the refrigerator and put it on a hot grill because it will stick. So as long as your grill is clean and as long as your meat has been sitting on the counter and coming to room temperature, it will not stick until once those proteins release, then it will actually release off that grill or the cast iron skillet or whatever pan you're using to cook inside your kitchen. It's all the same science. So once I learned that, that was really kind of game changing with me. So I love to show in my classes that you don't have to put oil on it. You don't have to put oil on the grill. You don't have to put oil on your chicken at all. So in fact, I love using the shark crust. That's one of the giveaways. And on this is more of a dredging of chickens too. So we have two different boxes, but we'll be giving away two of these tonight. Great product. I work very closely, woman owned. She's fantastic. But what we're going to do is I'm just going to put it on without any seasoning today for interest of time to show you that you really don't need to. I'm going to put it on right now. I can hear the potatoes are already kind of sizzling, which is great. I'm going to put it on a diagonal, and I'm going to explain why. So do you see how I'm putting it on almost like a clock would be from if this was a clock, this is 10 o'clock and this is 4 o'clock, right? So I'm going to close the grill and talk about that for a second. Closing the grill, most grilling happens similar to an oven with the grill closed. But why did I put it on that angle? Well, if you've been to a really great restaurant and you see those cross grill marks, those hash marks on a grill or on a piece of chicken or a piece of meat, that's how they do it. So the very first step is to put it on the diagonal, like I just did, 10 to 4, I guess. And then instead of flipping that chicken over, you pick up the chicken with your tongs and you rotate it from 2 o'clock to about 8 o'clock. That's how you get those grill marks. Then the next step is flipping it and doing the same thing on the other side. Does that make sense for everybody? So back to the science lesson, that very first step when the chicken is on the grill, that is the very first one, the one that I just did right now. That is the step where the chicken is going to be on the grill the longest. Because right now I put raw chicken on a hot grill. So right now, if I go to turn it, it's going to stick. So that's why it's going to be in that position the longest until those proteins release. Then you're able to rotate it to get those hash marks. Now, I always get asked, how long do you grill chicken, Babs? Well, my answer to that, I know somebody was about to ask that question. My answer to that is, it is as long as it takes to get your temperature gauge, your thermometer to be 165 degrees or more. And this is all on the tip sheet too, so no need to take notes. I'll share this all with you. But invest in the thermometer. For some reason, I don't know why, people think that this is a sign of weakness. It is not. This is a sign that you're doing. And you're an expert griller. Every expert for her own thermometer. And of course, I had to get it in pink, right? So invest in one because every piece of chicken is a different size. You could get really thick pieces or you could get thin pieces. It's hard to gauge timing. The best way, you cannot be a graduate of my class and cut into a piece of chicken to see if it's done. Does anyone know why you can't do that? Sophie, you know why you can't cut into a piece of chicken?
I do not.
To see if it's done. Because as soon as you cut into a piece of chicken to see if it's done, you lose those juices. That's why it's in your wrap after you're done grilling, because you need to give it just a couple minutes or so for all of those juices to reincorporate into that piece of meat. So if you cut into it to see if it's done, and worst case scenario, it's not done, and you have to put it back on, and then it's in two pieces, and then that's how you get really dried out chicken. And best case scenario, if it is done, you've just lost all those juices and they're not reincorporating. And those juices are all of the flavor of a piece of chicken. So super important. This is like the top gadget that you need. This is instant read. You don't have to have an instant read one, but please invest in some type of thermometer. The best way to use a meat thermometer is not this way because you could get the temperature of the grill grates really easily. The best way to use it is this way. Find the thickest part of the meat and put it right into the middle of that piece of chicken. And that is the best way to gauge. Now, similar to cooking in an oven or in a stovetop, once you take it out, it is going to continue to cook for a couple more minutes. So if you take it out at 163, it's not the worst case scenario for a piece of chicken, but 165 is the rule of thumb for sure. If it's 170, nothing, it's not going to be over dry. over-dried chicken happens when you're putting a piece of cold chicken onto a hot grill. That's how you get it over dry because the outside's going to be done a lot quicker than the inside. And by the time your inside is done, that's how your piece of chicken is dry. So bringing it to room temperature is super important. Okay, I'm gonna check and see if it's released yet. And look I haven't put anything on it. You saw that was completely a raw piece of chicken with no oil. It just lifted up beautifully. And what I'm gonna do instead of flipping it, I'm gonna rotate it because you saw those grill, this one's sticking a little bit more. I'm gonna grab it from that end, which is fine. Look at those pretty grill lines. I'm gonna do it, not gonna flip it, I'm just rotating it. Notice with my tongs, I just am picking it up from the end. I'm not like shoving it in the whole thing and ripping off all the skin. So that is why you don't want to use a hamburger flipper. Okay, wash my hands really quick because you do know salmonella is a real thing. If you are using chicken in your kitchen, you for sure want to use soap and water. Don't want to use the same pans. Don't want to put your cooked chicken back on your raw chicken pan. This is all very important to keep in mind. Um, with the steak we're going to use, I think if you buy a really great, this is a ribeye, New York strip actually. And if you buy a really great piece of meat, again, I love char crust I'm using. I love all kinds of marinades and spices and rubs. But what I do love, especially with steak, is just using some really good piece of meat with some salt and pepper. So I'm going to just put some salt on this. And I have a butcher friend, the same one with the protein discussion, that told me if you are eating both sides of the steak, which of course you are, you want to salt and season both sides of the steak. So I like that idea. You could put some pepper on here too, although I'm trying to do this one-handed, but you get the idea. And sometimes I like if you get this really great piece of meat, just put salt and pepper on it. That's really all you need. You could really taste the quality of the meat. So I'm going to put this on my grill too, and you could do the same diagonal cross grill marks. In fact, I think you should because it's fun to show off what a great griller you are, right? What I'm going to do is take a look at these. See those lines? Those look so pretty. I'm going to flip that side. Take a look at that. Again, great grill marks, right? That's what you're looking for. I'm going to flip them over and you could do it on both sides like that. So the potatoes are probably pretty done, but I'm just going to leave this here. I want to talk about the dessert while we still have time. So where did I do? Oh, here we go. So this is good old fashioned, I'm just picking up with my hands, good old fashioned Sara Lee pound cake from the freezer section. What I did is I cut them into these pieces ahead of time. I took them out of the freezer and thawed it out. This is great. I actually was on TV down here in Charleston today and I talked about this recipe and it was such a big hit. Everybody ate it afterwards and loved it. All you have to do is take a little bit of olive oil. And what I'm gonna do is on each side, I like how I'm doing this right on my hands, Sophie. You normally not do that, but and I'm gonna put it directly onto my grill like this. And I'm just putting some olive oil. You could put actually any kind of oil on it. I'm doing that only to get it to char up pretty quickly. And you're really just trying to get some grill lines on it. I'm going to close the grill really quick. Get some grill lines on it and get that. It really gets this flavor, this nutty flavor. And what you could do is you could put, I'm going to put strawberries on it and you could do fresh whipped cream as well. But my big thing with dessert is literally anything that you make in your oven, you can make on a grill. You just need like some good cast iron skillets. So I make brownies out here. I make fruit cobbler. I make, anything that I would put into my oven for a dessert, I put out here. I do cookie skillets, like in a big cast iron pan, and I put it right on the grill. Why heat up your kitchen? So I'm going to flip these over. Here's my other, I don't want to use that tong. Where's my other tong here? Oh, here it is. I don't want to use my meat tongs. So see how that has that nice line. Just going to do this on both sides. That one could be a little more done. Oh, look at that's perfect, right? And I'm going to serve that with right down here in the South, peaches are in season. So you could grill up some peaches, serve it with this pound cake, fresh whipped cream. It would be absolutely wonderful. I'm going to take a look at my steak here. Not sticking, which is so nice. I have one line of grill marks. If I want to do the other, I could. Otherwise, I'm going to flip it over. And then I'm going to take a look at, oh yeah, these are getting done already. Okay, so we're good to go. And then let me put my little pound cake on a plate. And I think we might be ready to take some questions. Perhaps.
Yep.
Or are we on time? Are we good?
Yes, we're perfect. I'm
Okay.
gonna walk us to the table if you want to sit once you're feeling good.
Oh yeah. I want to show the finish of the potatoes too, but
Sorry, guys, bear with us. This is a live. I'm with her tonight, so it's more exciting for us. So I have to do the computer part a little bit quicker behind the scenes.
yes.
Let
All
me
right.
make
You have to
sure.
show this too.
Yes. Looks like Babs's dessert is all ready
Oh
to
my
go.
gosh, look at how good that is. I wish you guys were all here. I wish I could feed all of you from across the country.
Okay, are you ready for our first question, Babs?
I am.
We have how often should you deep clean
Yes,
your grill?
I love that. I think it really kind of depends on how often you use it, but I'm a big fan of at least once a year. So when you do all of your spring cleaning, your windows, everything else, add your grill to it. And there are people, it's a lot of work to do it yourself. So there are people who will do it for you. Find, Google that in your area, and I would have someone come out and do it for you, to be honest. It's a lot of work, but worth it. And it actually increases the longevity of your grill. So prevent grease fires, make sure that your grill is always clean.
Do you have a grill brush recommendation?
That's a good question. I get asked that a lot. And the big answer, people are worried about those little wire metals getting caught in their food. You saw me use the wire brush. I love using that. My suggestion, after talking to several people, that is my favorite, and I will share with you all of my favorites. Just replace it a lot. The reason why those little wires sometimes get, caught, and people have said got caught in food, is they were using old ones that have been, used for years and years. You want to probably replace that as soon as it's getting bad.
Do you have any tips for cooking fish directly on the
Oh
grill?
yeah, so it depends on the type of fish. Using a grill basket for it. The concern sometimes with cooking fish is it does stick. I have a great cheater idea for salmon. For salmon, I like putting aluminum foil down, and I put the salmon and the marinade and the salmon right on top of that aluminum foil. I don't flip the salmon ever. I actually need to do a post about this because I get asked this all the time. I don't flip the salmon, and it just cooks similar to what you would do on a sheet pan in your oven. And it's genius and so easy. And I could put a liquid marinade. It's really great. Griddle is a great alternative for cooking fish too. Doesn't stick on that at all. And shrimp, I use shrimp on actual veggie basket, but on a griddle, just pour the marinade right and shrimp a lot.
Definitely. Assuming the Mexican should be oiled before placing the veggies on it.
No, no. It's similar to Castan. You are going to have, you don't have to oil those. No. And actually, with the veggies, I me oiling it on the griddle. I sometimes oil it in a veggie pan too before I put the veggies on the pan. I don't oil the pan. I would oil the veggies. But keep in mind, if you're not using a griddle, you can get a lot of flare up, which is okay. You want that char, but just be careful with that. Make sure you have your gloves on and you're standing back, and make sure that the veggies aren't dripping in oil. Just a little bit goes a long way. And you don't have to have it, to be honest.
Do you have any tips for working with charcoal?
So I do have a big green egg, and I use charcoal and do smoking with that. There's all, different types I know of charcoal type grills. That's that's like a whole nother class. So I, I I do have tips for you, but that would take me a long time. So reach out to me directly for that question.
How do you know when the proteins have released in the chicken? Just by trying to lift it?
Yes, that's how easy it is, which is so great. So I joke in my classes, if it sticks, I showed it to you after I should have showed before when it was sticking. But if it was, if it's sticking and you go to turn it, close the lid, pour yourself some more wine. Babs told you to do that. Because you can wait. It's just a timing thing. It just means it hasn't released yet.
I just heard that the shrimp, when you were answering about shrimp earlier, it froze a little bit, and we wanted to hear again what you
Oh,
heard
okay,
about the shrimp.
shrimp.
So sorry.
So, no, shrimp is one of these wonderful things that you could use on the griddle directly, which I love because you could put all the sauce and the seasoning right on the griddle. Otherwise, I do it a lot in a grill basket on my, regular gas grill for sure. But it's really nice to do it directly on that griddle all of the season. I do that.
Or do you
No.
wash them between?
Great question. Salmonella is a real thing with chicken. Um, not, I mean, yes, with raw meat. That's why I have like 10 tongs lying around at all times. I feel like for sure you want to make sure that your raw chicken, any raw meat is a separate tong. You could wash it in between or just have a separate set of tongs. They're very inexpensive.
What temperature are you grilling at?
Right now, we didn't do any high sear grilling where it was like 500 degrees. We were doing, or any high crazy temperature. I was grilling everything at about 375, similar to an oven, similar to roasting in an oven, really. So I was just trying to maintain that. If your grill gets too hot, don't mess around with the dials. Lift the lid and let that air come in. That's where it's a little different than an oven.
Will you put anything on the chicken before
Yeah,
eating?
I mean, I would have, if we had more time, I probably would have put a seasoning on there before I put it on. Yes, I mean, I think that would be kind of gross. I'll make Sophie try all this stuff afterwards. So we'll for sure put something on afterwards. But I would put at least salt and pepper on chicken. I love doing a marinade, char crust, any kind of whatever your favorite rub is for sure. But sometimes with steak, like I said, just try salt and pepper. If you buy this really great cut of meat, I think you don't go down the grocery aisle and there's 400 different marinades, spices, and sauces, and we kind of get wrapped up that we have to use those. That's not the case, actually. Just put some salt and pepper on it for sure for steak. It tastes so great that way.
How do you grill with the cast iron?
So cast iron is so fantastic. You could put it right on the grill. So you could watch on my Instagram, I do this a lot. So I could put, whether it's the griddle or an actual grill, I'll put cast iron directly on it. It can maintain that level of heat, which is so awesome. So that Lodge is my favorite brand of cast iron. I have all kinds of different sizes. So I was using the example of a fruit crumble. So any type of um, fruit crumble or brownies, I'll buy like a Ghirardelli box brownie mix, which I think is the best, and I have a massive cast iron skillet. I'll put 2 boxes of it together. I'll just mix it right in the skillet and I put it right on the grill. So instead of putting it in the oven, I use my grill as my oven. And it works. And it probably cooks a little bit faster than your oven because the cast iron retains the heat so well, but it's the same. It's really fun.
Is the chicken example you shared about the protein sticking also the case for plant-based proteins? She said that you said veggies don't have this problem, but mentioned that proteins do.
No, I think it is. I'm again, I'm not a science expert, but I'm pretty sure it's just animal-based proteins. That's what's causing it to stick because I don't have that issue with anything else, not related to animal meat.
How do you know when the grill is at the right temperature?
So every single grill has the temperature gauge on it somewhere. So when you preheat it, remember, similar to an oven, you're preheating. Even if you're cooking one little lonely hamburger, you are turning on every single knob. I think that's where people make a lot of mistakes is they only turn on one knob because they think they're only grilling something small. The most efficient way to grill is to turn on all of the knobs. So I have a grill at home back in Chicago that have 5 burners, so 5 knobs. I have to turn them all on. That is the most efficient way. Then I take a look at my little temperature gauge. Once it gets to 375, 400, I turn all of those knobs to medium and then it regulates. Now, grills are a little different than ovens that they will, if you're talking, like I'm talking a long time, and if I go over there right now, my grill is going to be really hot. The best way, instead of messing with the knobs, the best way to get it back to 375 would be to open the lid. That's the only weird difference, I think, between a grill and an oven. But the griddle, though, so something to note, you'll see the griddle, you never close the lid of a griddle. So I talked to Weber as to why it's just like a hibachi style type of grilling, and you never close the lid. So a little different than a gas grill. But
Interesting. I had no idea.
yeah.
And then our final question is, do you have recipes you can
Oh, I
share?
have so many
Okay.
recipes.
I know we have some going out in the wrap-up
Yeah.
email tomorrow
Yes,
from
I
that.
have so many. And on my Instagram at Babs Boards and definitely my website at babsboards.com, there's a ton of recipes. I'm developing more every day. You have to see this. Look at
I
that.
know.
We're going to
You're
try.
gonna have to, it looks
So
amazing.
good. I know. It is. You'll love it. But yes, a lot of I'm a big like quick and easy, not a lot of steps and complications type recipe person. And I love Barefoot Contessa. I use a lot of Ina Garten's recipes.
Oh, another question came in. If you use the griddle add-on, do you close that lid?
No, you don't. So it's just a different type of grilling. So you leave it open. It's all that open. They do make this attachment or an accessory that if you want to like a piece of chicken, if you want to grill a piece of chicken on a griddle, it almost looks like a lid and they sell that separately and that you kind of it's a dome almost. So you put the dome over that piece of chicken or the piece of steak. That's the best way to keep the heat inside, but you do not close the lid.
Do you use a smoker?
I do. Yes. I love my big green egg. I use that a lot. That's my smoker of choice. They make a lot of different types of smokers for sure. That's low and slow. I would love to work on a class for that. I've gotten asked that a ton. I've just been so busy with Girls Who Grill and this class that I haven't yet developed it, but it is coming soon. That's great. I mean, I make my Thanksgiving turkey on the smoker. I make ribs. I make pulled pork. I love it. It's really fun, but different, totally different type of grilling.
Thank you for sharing and thank you for asking all
Yeah.
of your questions, guys. I think we're gonna walk to the grill to see the
Yes. Oh my
final
gosh. I
before
know.
we do the
Probably,
final giveaway of the
probably,
evening. No,
Now that
let's
I've been talking.
let's head
Oh,
on
it
over
just
to the
smells really
grill.
good. All right. So for sure my chicken is done. It's looking really good. I'm gonna take this off and my steak. Oh my gosh, look at how great that looks. Probably a little overcooked because we were talking, but that's okay.
Smells
Another piece
amazing.
of chicken. We're gonna eat this later, Sophie. And then my potatoes are nice and warmed up. I'm just going to open them up, put on my grill gloves, open them up and put them into this whole bowl of butter, which will be wonderful. And then add some salt on top of it. And Sophie and I are gonna have dinner. I wish everyone could stay and join us.
I am gonna go get us set up with our final giveaway then.
Okay, yeah, I love it. Do you need my help with that?
If you want to come and join us,
I'll
absolutely.
bring the potatoes over.
I'll- over.
Can you save them?
Yep,
What I'm
gonna
gonna
them.
do, yeah. You could see, oh my gosh, so good. I don't know if you could see it, but what I did is hopefully I didn't get any butter on you, but I just melted, the butter melts as soon as you take these warm potatoes and stir them all up. How great is that? All right.
Okay, everybody, let's get it started with our final giveaway of the evening.
So fun. Who's gonna get it? You guys are gonna love this. And of course, molten salt too.
Oh, exciting. It's already gone ahead to.
Cute.
So the question that we want to know tonight for you guys to be entered into our final giveaway of the evening is what are you making next on the grill after learning everything from Babs tonight and hearing her menu and what she likes to do on her grill? Just
This is
drop
going to be good.
I know. I feel like what I'm going to make next is
Yeah, what
definitely
are
a
you gonna
dessert, but I
dessert?
need to buy a grill first, I guess.
Yes, you do.
I need to get on
And
that.
then
Maybe there will be a Memorial Day sale for me
right, there
soon.
probably will.
Oh, I see chicken. Oh, they're
Mhm.
not populating, but I'll read them out loud. Potatoes, grilled
Oh
veggies,
gosh.
salad and potatoes,
Dessert.
chicken, shish kebab,
Peaches. I love that.
pineapple or peaches, dessert,
Oh, pineapple's a good one.
salmon and peaches.
Yeah, try the brownies, you guys. It's so easy. And I love putting that big cast iron skillet right in the middle of a table. Put some ice cream on top of it. It all melts all over. It could be, it's your grilling pan and your serving dish all in one.
How
So
exciting.
fun.
What else is everybody thinking that we should make on the grill next? So sorry, guys, my screen is paused. Okay, let's pull our next winner. Those were some awesome
Yeah,
answers. That gave me a lot of
I
inspiration
know.
for
I'm glad you
what
guys are getting out there and grilling. Hopefully I motivated you.
I know you're going to be getting another wonderful. Lindsay Douglas, are you here tonight? If you want to unmute yourself or send in the chat. If not, I can pull another name. I'm not hearing anything, so I'm going to go again. Who's going to win the Girls Who Grill Necessities pack from Babs?
But
We want to get this to you so that you can start grib.
no.
Oh, Libby Paulson, are you here tonight? You want to unmute yourself or send anything in the chat?
Please here.
You can double.
Oh,
Libby's here.
Libby's here.
Congratulations, Libby. I'll make
Congratulations.
sure to email you tomorrow so I can confirm your
So
mailing
much.
address to
Yes,
get
you're gonna
you.
love this.
Oh,
Oh,
yay. I'm so exciting, Libby. I'm so happy you won and got to learn some things. So maybe you can
What are you
put some
gonna
of these
grill this
items.
weekend?
I really want to try the brownies. I never thought of doing that, but my kids love brownies, and I think they
Yes.
would be so excited for that.
Yes, it's so great. And it's such a crowd pleaser for sure. And I again like serve it right out of your cast iron skillet, which is so neat. It's just
Yeah.
everybody, it's such a hit. I love it.
It sounds
So
delicious.
no need to heat up your kitchen this weekend and this summer. Just take it all outside on the grill. And please reach out to me if you're having problems turning on your own grill. Please, please, please. And that's really important to me that everybody could go outside and turn on their own grill by themselves.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Yay, and
Thank
your gloves will
you.
be
I
perfect.
know they will. You'll love them.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So huge thank you to Babs for leading us through such an incredible experience tonight. Your energy and approachable teaching style make grilling feel fun, empowering, and accessible for everyone here. So we're so grateful you shared your time and tips with us this
Aw,
evening.
thank you so much
Again,
for
too.
having me. I love doing this. I love it. And it is something that's easy and accessible to us all.
And thank you to everyone who joined us tonight. We hope you leave feeling inspired to fire up the grill this summer, try something new, and carry a little extra confidence in your next cookout. These events are made possible thanks to our dues-paying alumna, and your continued support allows us to keep creating engaging, joyful, filled experiences like this one. If you need to pay your dues or want a quick refresher, you may always head to the Pay Dues tab on the Kappa website. And coming up next, our June events start on the 11th. Our first double header, we have Christy Mayfield for a SIP social at 7 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. Eastern on June 11th. And then following that, we have a Building Your Brand conversation with Emily Brown June 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we want you to come into these events, and we can't wait to see you there. You'll find all the links to the upcoming events on the Flourish landing page, the Kappa website, or in the chat. So be sure to save your spot. Also, make sure to fill out the giveaway for Jonah Leary's copy of A Killer Wedding. The giveaway ends on the end of the month on May 31st. Her book club is July 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern, so you don't want to miss it. And with that, good night, sisters. Thank you so much, Babs, for an amazing evening.
So much fun.
Good night, everyone. See you guys at the next Flourish event.
But